Murder! Alright, next room.
That's a big wardrobe. I bet you could hide a corpse in there. Actually, I better not open it and check.
Yes, open and check. What if it's Clara?
The mirror is completely shattered. I think someone in here didn't really like their reflection.
Clara! I don't know.
Let's take a look inside. The lid is shaped like a heart and has a tiny keyhole. Whatever's inside must be very precious.
Murderous doll. Yeah.
Coils of rope. I wonder why we're keeping rope in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Alright. Oh my god. Kinky cheat
Is
time.
she dead? She doesn't move a muscle, yet she sits upright. She's like a mannequin of human flesh.
Clara?
At least the view is nice from up here. Is she dead?
I can't do anything with her. Screwdriver?
I need something else. That won't work. I don't know
Bone
why
saw.
I thought that would work.
A
That
candlestick?
makes no sense.
Yeah, I know it doesn't
I
make
need
sense.
something else.
I'm just trying stuff.
I don't know why I thought that would work.
Okay, so none of that works. Oh, there's a note.
A note.
Belladonna. Failure. The attempt was a failure. I could not lure my lost lover back into her deceased corpse. All my preparation in vain. All alone now, no one to turn my key. Oh. So maybe she is Belladonna. Hmm. So,
That's a big wardrobe.
and you
Bet
are
you
the
could hide a
maid,
corpse in
yeah.
there.
That's what I'm thinking.
I need something else.
Hmm.
I need something else.
Let's saw it.
But no. I don't know why I thought that would work.
Alright, can I start
Nothing
merging
happens.
some of this stuff together? Maybe.
I'll just tie this rope to the lantern.
Oh, well, that worked.
That won't work. Interesting, but no. Nothing happens. I need something else.
Alright, so what am I supposed to do now? Can I, like, use it with the window?
That won't work.
Because I can't go to the left anymore. So I'm now lost. Because there's nothing else I can click on. Any ideas? Like, I can't think of anything I can do now. Can I do that?
That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Nothing happens.
I'm just trying stuff. Actually, I don't.
I don't know why I thought that would work. What a marvelous... This must... Interesting, but no.
That's a no.
Interesting, but no.
Yeah, I just don't know
That
what
makes
to do
no sense.
now.
Nothing happens.
Like, I need a heart-shaped key or something. already looked at all this. There's a journal page here. Did I not click that?
Look, a journal page was hiding behind the plant.
Oh, I missed it. It was under the Belladonna. Did Wolfram murder poor Clara, or did he not? My situation has reached a point where it hardly makes any difference. Still cannot prove anything, but my conviction of his sin is only growing stronger. I cannot look at his face without seeing a murderer, nor not listen to his voice without hearing the words of an evil man. And the coward knows it. He sees the judgment in my eyes, and he shrinks away from it like the rodent he is. Guilty or not, he could not act more like a culprit if he so confessed his crimes in the town square. If he was hiding his laboratory, or if he was hiding in his laboratory before, now he practically lives there. We both realize that he lacks the courage to meet my gaze, and after that, he simply stopped coming back upstairs. The villain, the fiend. He can rot away in his dungeon, forgotten by the world, his remaining days spent in darkness and solitude. I will not forgive him. How could I, when he has provided me with nothing but misery since the day we met? The living areas of this castle are mine now, and if my husband is incapable of even confronting me, he shall have no benefit from them. Curse my miserable existence. Well, there's all the pieces. There's a small key on the body of the man. Okay. I shall go look. I'm glad I came back out here, though. I found a piece that I was missing. Probably in his coat. Alright.
The body is still warm. He cannot have been dead for much longer.
Strings.
There's something in his pocket.
There we go. Got it.
It's a small, delicate key. He kept it in the pocket closest to his heart. I wonder what it unlocks.
Sweet. Alright. Let's go back. Check out the stuff. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Yep. Closest to his heart. I wonder. I like this game, though. This game is really interesting.
I wonder if this key fits.
It's
There's
a big
hidden
key.
inside. A very important one.
Alright. Moment of truth. Who is she?
Clara, it really is you. I was so certain I'd never see you again. You didn't wake up.
I woke up. I've been wandering lost ever since, trying to find out what's going on.
How are you feeling? Do you remember me?
I have no memories of you, or of myself. But I found some notes lying around. I can only assume you're the one called Belladonna?
I am Belladonna, murdered and reanimated by Dr. von Trauerschloss. At first a mindless mechanical doll, but I slowly regained control over my brain. And when the time was right, I broke free.
I saw the doctor's body.
Yes, I crushed his skull. Standing over his blood-soaked remains, I was free at last.
But where did I come from? If he was dead, was it you who brought me back?
Yes, my love. You were the only thing on my mind as I stood there, alone and victorious. I had secretly watched the doctor's process, and I desperately wanted to believe that I could get you back. I unearthed your grave and carried your dead body down to the laboratory. I did everything right, to the smallest detail, but you didn't wake up. And my time was running out. I can't turn my own key, and now that I was alone in the castle, I knew my life force would run out quickly. But for all my effort, you remained dead, and with no one to keep me vital, I eventually sat down here and just stopped.
But I did wake up.
Yes, apparently you did. Your body had been in the ground for quite some time. Perhaps that made the reanimation process slower, but with your key powering your brain directly, you did not have to go through the drawn-out, sluggish wake-up. I take it your cognitive powers and language have been with you from the start.
Well, yes.
Excellent. Then I have even improved on the doctor's method, but I doubt independent thinking and free will was ever in his interest to reproduce.
Do you think you could do it again?
Create more of us, you mean? Yes, I hold the secret of life and death, and I plan to use it. The experimentations must continue.
And the two of us will have no place in this world.
Quite right. So, we'll make us a place. Dead bodies will never be in short supply. We'll make more of our kind, a whole new race of the damned.
Where do we start?
I know for a fact that there's a fresh body lying out there in the Great Hall.
The doctor.
His flesh, at least. We won't be using his wretched brain. I've already destroyed it in any case. But the body will do. We will have to find a few other ingredients. Will you help me?
Of course I will.
Thank you, my love. I'll carry the body down to the laboratory and start with the preparations. And in the meantime...
Alright, that was pretty creepy.
Other things. The doctor's brain is completely destroyed. I made sure of that. I don't think any of us want...
And yeah, you definitely called it.
We're going to need to find a new one. Secondly, we will also need some clockwork parts. We have to manufacture a force to keep the dead body going. Thirdly, not only the brain, but also the head and the cranium were damaged. If we can find a new head, that would save a lot of reconstruction.
And so The Walking Dead came to be, pretty much. Wow, that game. I know, right?
I saw a brain preserved in alcohol down in the laboratory.
Oh, you did? That's good. That, my dear, is the brain of baby Lucas.
Oh, creepy.
Your son?
Lucas was never buried. The doctor had the body cremated very quickly and thus incinerated all the evidence that the corpse was not complete. He had stolen the brain and kept it for himself. I don't know.
Yeah, it is really dark.
He was planning on resurrecting his child, but the truth is that he kept the brain all the same.
And now you want your child back?
No, my dear. It's just a brain. I wanted you back, so I took great care to preserve your personality. But this brain is young and has been dead for very long. I suppose the creation will be my child, in a way, but not my son Lucas.
Okay.
Clockwork?
Yes, we need something to supply the body with the force to move. We can't make the heart beat again, so we use the spring-loaded clockwork. In the future, we'll have to think of a source of parts more reliable than salvaging old-time pieces, but that'll do for now.
So I know where the clock is.
I see.
Thank you.
Will we need to find a fresh human head?
Yes, I've smashed up the head of Wolfram rather frivolously. I'm afraid it's beyond rescue. I was thinking of my grandmother, Francesca Canosa. I'm sure you've seen her portrait in the
So we
study.
have to go to the mausoleum.
She was buried some time ago, but her cranium should be sufficiently preserved. She rests in the mausoleum.
So we're gonna be making a
outside,
monster.
but there is a hidden way into the tomb behind the armor in the basement.
Alright.
Your grandmother. Will it not cause problems to attach a woman's head to a man's body?
No, I don't see how it would make any difference in this new race of ours. We do not even reproduce sexually, so not even that significance is relevant.
This is gonna be very strange.
What do you mean we don't reproduce sexually? How do you know?
I spent quite some time with Wolfram dead and mindless, you know. I can safely say that though we do experience
More
other physical
monsters, yep.
sensations of intercourse, we cannot become pregnant or bear children.
I see.
Alright then.
I'll go take a look behind the suit of armor.
Thank you.
Some things have been puzzling me.
This is just really
Did I used to have hair?
dark.
You had beautiful hair. Unfortunately, I had to shave it all off in order to operate on your head and open your cranium.
Yet you're not bald.
I was revivified directly after my death, when my body was still fresh. You, my dear, had been in the ground for quite some time. I had to reconstruct large parts of your
This
decomposed
is just
corpse.
really strange.
That explains the metal construction holding together my skull.
I have my fair share of screws and bolts myself, but they are carefully hidden. I opted to sacrifice your pretty hair so that I could work more on preserving your brain. Something the good doctor did not do for me.
I love how they have a normal conversation about it. Yeah.
Will it grow back?
No.
I don't rightly know. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
I want to ask something else.
I'm here for you.
What is this I'm wearing?
Like a race of
I'm
undead,
so
sure
sorry
thing.
about that. I covered you in scraps and bandages I found in the laboratory. I had to cut open and discard most of what you were buried in order to stitch you up. I want you to know that my plan was to be right next to you when you woke up, to help you understand and to find a
First
proper
science,
rest.
pretty
I'm so
much.
sorry it didn't come to pass like that.
On my way in here, I killed a cat. It was in my way and it felt so natural to just dispose of it. It worries me a bit.
How so?
I may have a functional brain, but what about a soul? Shouldn't there be something in me stopping me from hurting others? Or at least making me feel bad about it?
You're right. It did come very natural for me to murder my husband. But I'm not too worried about this. I have no desire to commit unnecessary killings, and I do have control over my actions.
Indeed.
What if you're raising an army of cold-hearted mass murderers?
They won't be mass murderers any more than you and I. And besides, why should we prioritize the lives of the living above the lives of the dead?
Oh
I
wow.
want to ask something else.
This is very, very dark.
Why did you put this wind-up mechanism in my head? Yours is in your back.
Yes, the damned doctor had placed my wind-up mechanism in my back. It goes straight into my chest and heart, giving me a strong central of power. But it is placed outside my own reach.
So, you can't turn it yourself?
No, I can't. I have to depend on others. That's why I chose to put the key in the back of your head, well within reach of your own hands. I know what it means to not be in control of your own existence, and I will never put someone else
Yep,
in
I
a
think I'll be
situation
lurking.
I'm in.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Of course.
Alright.
I want to ask something else.
I'm here for you.
I've asked everything, so let's go
I'll
ahead.
start looking for the objects then.
And
Thank
head
you.
out.
Come talk to me if there's something you're unsure about.
Alright. So we're gonna go to... Yeah, have a great day as well. Have fun on your day off. Alright, so I need... Gonna take it from the clock.
I see a lot of mechanical parts in there. I need to get them out somehow.
Screwdriver?
This faithful screwdriver will do the trick.
Awesome.
Time to turn this old clock into a slightly peculiar wardrobe.
Alright. So for the mausoleum, I'm gonna have to go through the armored thing, so let's go downstairs. To the basement. Yeah, this has been a really strange game, but it's been pretty interesting too, I have to say. Hello, Mr. Armor.
Belladonna was right. There is a secret switch behind Roland the Poet.
A horror love story, basically. Yeah.
It's too dark down there. I won't see my hands in front of me unless I light the crypt up first.
Okay.
Yes, I can lower the lantern into the hole.
Yay.
Amazing. I I must be directly underneath the mausoleum in the cemetery.
Oh, look at that. Is
I
that the
can't
last
believe it.
page?
It's another letter. How did it end up down here?
Clara wrote this actually. After insistent probing from my lady Belladonna, I too take to the pen come evening. The scribbling does not come as readily for me as it does for her, yet I do most certainly see the appeal in the activity. So much has happened in my life of late, my brain is overflowing with joy and secrets and disorder, and if I manage to write down a map of but a fraction of it all, that would be an enormous relief. Verily it had, or verily it all centers around Belladonna, this queen regnant of the castle who has turned her benevolent face towards me, and thus filled my person with happiness I had previously thought unimaginable. I still remember the first time I saw her standing next to her husband when I took up work in the household, and I remember how she seemed to me to glow. The two of them lost a child shortly after that, and the tragedy would linger in the castle for a long time. All the other servants started to leave one by one, but as much as I wanted to, I found myself unable. I kept postponing my departure with each new day, and I found myself dancing around Belladonna's flame, drawn to it as strongly as I had been from that first glance. By the time she finally recovered from her melancholy, I was the only one left in the castle, and it was at this time the miracle happened. Belladonna saw me in a new way. This tempestuous affair, galloping and world shaking, and yet so quiet, so hidden. The castle is ours to rule as we please, but only as long as we do not arouse the suspicion of the grave robbing goblin in the basement. It is as if I had have stepped into one of the fairy stories my grandmother used to tell. So basically, she has had her eye on Belladonna since the first day she came to the castle. But Nana's stories always ended with someone losing their head or being eaten alive. Creepy. Though seemingly everlasting, this bliss of ours, a seed of doubt is growing in my heart. Belladonna is married, after all, and who am I to break their wedlock? Theirs is not a happy union, true, but I am seducing my love to break her vows and soil her soul. And what wretched ruin will that bring upon us? For a long while Belladonna was all I dreamed about, my queen and goddess, and my deepest wish was for her to let me into her life and let me worship her. I thought I would give up anything for that, but now that I am here I wonder if I have sacrificed too much. Comes from high society and she doesn't realize just how much she takes for granted. It is still clear who the lady and who is the servant. Can I keep living like this, or will I have to do the unthinkable and leave her? I made Belladonna promise not to read anything I wrote, and looking at what I have just put down in ink, the weight of that promise is clear. I have forged into words thoughts I did not know I had, and it is vital that these pages remain secluded from prying eyes. Secrets upon secrets, I shall hide this letter inside the old armor in the basement, whom I call Ronald the Bard, where I doubt anyone will find it. I'm descending into that dungeon as soon as I'm done here, and I'll hide this note on my way, as the master has asked me to fetch for him a certain plant from the greenhouse. It's as strange as this whole situation is, I must still obey his request, if only to keep up appearances. So wait, so he had her bring back the Belladonna that he used to kill her with. Wow. Just wow.
Here's Francisca's coffin, but the lid is much too heavy for me to lift. Maybe I could break it open, but I'll need some sort of big hammer or mace for that.
That is just
Another angel.
ridiculous.
Are you the third sibling? What did you do to get put down here? Is your name Gwendolyn?
Alright, so...
The things one does for love. You look very peaceful, but I do so need your head.
So I'm gonna saw it off
How
a bit.
shall I remove it? With
Yeah.
some surgical tool from the laboratory, perhaps? Now to
Off with her
carefully
head.
remove the head. It's remarkably well preserved.
Creepy.
I'm so sorry.
Whoa.
Looks like Belladonna has dragged the body down to the laboratory already.
Oh, okay. So I have this, and then we just need the brain, I think.
The body of a deranged murderer, the decomposed head of an old lady, the brain of a small child. How could this possibly go wrong?
Yeah, okay. Alright, Belladonna.
Welcome to the Lab of Horrors.
I have Francesca's head.
Well done. Just give it to me and I will attach it to the neck.
I took some parts from the old clock.
Well done. Let me put them into the creation.
I have the brain.
Well done. Please give it to me.
I found something else in the crypt. Another note. One I'd written myself when I was alive. I think we need to talk.
Uh-oh.
What is the matter, dear?
It's just... forget it. It doesn't matter. Let's focus on what we're doing here.
I
Yes,
want to
let's
leave
get this
you.
creation moving.
I don't know.
I'll get going.
Alright.
Thank you, dear.
There's one piece.
Thank you, dear.
There's two pieces.
Thank you, dear.
There we go.
The creation is complete. All we need to do now is force life into these dead limbs. That big switch on the wall initiates the procedure. Will you have the honor, my dear?
Oh, I guess.
Don't you worry, little pile of flesh and bones. We'll soon have you up and walking again.
This is crazy.
The time has come. I've wanted to pull this thing since the first time I saw it.
It's alive.
Really?